We wish you a Merry... Hey man, what the hell? Jingle those bells, cause it's Christmas, baby! Nothing decks my halls quite like watching terrible Hallmark Christmas movies, and it's finally that time of year again. There are genuinely hundreds of these movies, and I feel like they always end up having the same plot. You know, either small town girl moves to a big city, realizes this is where she belongs, and leaves her husband or boyfriend of 8 years to marry the guy that she met last week. Or a big city girl moves to a small town, realizes that this is where she belongs, and leaves her husband or boyfriend of 8 years to marry the guy she met last week. Has anyone noticed a lot of these like feel-good Hallmark Christmas movies, or just romance movies in general, just always involve cheating or getting as close to cheating as possible without going over? You know, it's always like, well, I know I'm still with him, but you're the one for me. Please, come on, it's okay. Bitch, break up with him. Anyways, what if I told you this wasn't like other Christmas movies? No, this one's dark and twisted and fucked up. It's called Christmas Crime Story. Really, really creative name, I know. I mean, it tells us everything we need to know. It's got Christmas, it's got crime. It's probably got a story. Well, actually, bruh. Now, Christmas Crime Story came out in 2017, but was actually originally conceived in 2010 as a short film. The original screenplay had a ton of issues being produced. Apparently, the original script file got corrupted twice. I feel like that's a sign that the movie just should have died there. It just shouldn't have gone any further, but unfortunately persisted, and the original writers eventually uploaded it to Simply Scripts, which is like a screenplay website. You can buy screenplays. I don't know. Apparently, some guy named Richard Friedman did that in 2016, and that's how we have this movie. He made some pretty bizarre changes, you'll see. Like, it's called Christmas Crime Story, right? It was supposed to take place in Massachusetts during a blizzard. He changed it to be in fucking LA during a heat wave. Why? Anyways, we open up to a robbery gone wrong with this super upset Santa in the back of a police car. This is Chris, our main guy. I think he's just a cop, but he's in a suit for some reason. I guess he's pretty fancy. He gets really combative with this homicide guy and then just leaves. Not really sure why he went here, but okay.
Pardon me, sir. Diddy blood.
What was that?
He heads over to this diner, and this really has no plot significance, but I just really like how this lady talks to the Santa.
That's for the children.
Who else would it be for, lady? He sits down at this diner, which reveals to us that this is actually his mom, and they're beefing really hard. We don't really know why yet. It's actually really awkward. They talk to each other more like they're a pair of exes than like a mother and son. And the dialogue is just, oh my God.
How's work?
Never changes. Had a couple of chuds in.
Why did she say that? Anyways, this scene runs on for way too long. It's just them small talking, right? Until they get really cryptic, they start getting really weird about everything.
Especially after what happened to Dad.
Okay, now you don't talk about things you know nothing about. Couple of chuds.
Apparently they're really upset about his dad passing, I guess. But that's what I'm confused on, because she also mentions that he was gone before he passed.
Didn't feel the need after you left.
Which means they were hating on each other for something else. But throughout this entire movie, they never really explain why he's beefing with his mom. Now, he heads back to his car to get back to work, and I don't know why, but they sped up this shot of his car driving off, and it just looks kind of stupid. As he's heading out, he hears some guy blow past him, and we have a solid 30 seconds of just completely generic drone footage of people driving at night, right? But they didn't even show the guy drive past him, so you just kind of have to infer that after they show all the footage. Now, the dude that he pulls over is just acting really odd. He's definitely not helping his case.
Could have killed somebody.
Then all of a sudden, Chris hears a bump in the trunk. Uh-oh. He asks him to pop it, and the guy gets out of the car like a robot and fucking blasts him. And Chris is dead. Chris is actually dead. This caught me so off guard. I will say, it kind of got me. I kind of wanted to know what was going to happen, because I was pretty curious where it was going to go from there. I don't know. And you know where it's going to go from there? Backwards. Sponsor time. Not too long ago, I realized I had subscriptions and bills coming out for things that I had completely forgotten about, like my subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club. Okay, that one's kind of awesome. I think I'm gonna keep that one. But my point is, I just was not paying attention to where my money was going, which led me to start using today's sponsor, Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you manage subscriptions, lower bills, build a custom budget, and grow your savings all in one place. One of my favorite features is how it automatically shows all of your subscriptions in one spot, so you can see what you're paying for and cancel what you don't want in just a few taps over there. It can also scan your bills and help you negotiate things like your internet bill for you, so you don't have to sit on hold or deal with the customer service. No one likes doing that. I also really like the budgeting tools. Basically, Rocket Money will create a budget for you based on your actual spending habits and shows you exactly where your money is going, and it'll Also send alerts for upcoming charges so nothing sneaks up on you. If you want to save more and spend less, then join the over 10 million people using Rocket Money. That includes me and like a lot of other guys. Scan the QR code or click my link in the description to join and get started for free today. No, like you can like actually scan that. Like that's something you can actually scan. Well, you can't anymore. It's the video time now. We go back in time to about 30 minutes before Chris entered the diner, right? That dude he pulled over, David.
My name is David.
He's just sitting in this diner with this lady, Sasha, and we can assume that Sasha is the one who he had in the trunk yet, but we don't really know because their argument is interrupted by some carolers singing at them through the window, as they do, I guess. I've never seen a caroler do this, but okay. Now, after this, I don't even know how to describe this shot, so I'm just gonna play it. Now, this terrifying shot goes on for a little bit longer before he zones back in and we get out of whatever eldritch trap he landed in there. Seriously, who the fuck was that guy? We hard cut to the Santa that's been sitting outside of the diner. Fair warning here, there are a lot of hard cuts, so be prepared to not really know what's happening. But this Santa, he's just ogling at the carolers, and when they finish, one of them walks up to him and says, "I caught you trying to sneak a peek earlier." What? What was he trying to look up your skirt? I feel like not the line she thought it was. I don't know. It keeps going and he eventually asks, "So, you doing anything later?"
Do anything after?
And she replies, "Just him." What the hell? Why did she approach him? Lady, if you knew you were married to the point where you were like,
Just him.
you walked up to him. Like, I feel like their conversation was objectively a little flirty. You could have just not.
What would Mrs. Claus have to say about that?
So far, this movie actually has pretty decent camera work and visuals. I think they color graded it all right. I don't know. That's usually where a lot of these B movies falter, but oh my God. This one just shoots itself in the foot with the dialogue. The acting is whatever. The acting is very passable, but the dialogue is just, it's so bad. Play the chud clip again.
A couple of chuds in here earlier.
Sasha and David keep arguing about love and money and shit like that and decide to head out of the diner. And as they're walking away, Sasha flashes like a little thumbs up to the Santa guy. Doesn't that mean you're being kidnapped? Isn't that what that means? Before we find out what that means, David has a surprise to show her in the trunk. She opens it and it's 3 fucking CSI placement photos of her kissing some dude in a car. Like, I just want to say, how the fuck did he get this shot? Because if you look at it, the camera is like eye level with them, like 5 feet away. It doesn't look grainy, so it doesn't look super zoomed in. It looks like this is the car window and he's just standing there. She's gonna regret this. What the fuck? They start arguing about the photos. He breaks up with her and then she pulls a fucking gun from God knows where and is like, I should have done this a long time ago. Now, David is standing like 2 inches away from her when she pulls the gun. So he just grabs the gun. I don't really know what she thought was gonna happen, but this fucking guy shows up again. Who is he? Who is this guy? Spoiler alert, they never tell us. I don't know who this guy is. He keeps like coaching David on what to do next, and he's very obviously some sort of like schizophrenic vision, but they never explain why or what this has to do with anything else. But he, along with everybody else in this movie, keeps referencing how hot it is and the heat wave.
I'm sweating.
Let's open it.
I'm gonna
here.
get cholera standing in this Christmas heat wave.
It's a heat wave.
What is it, 130 degrees? Why do they emphasize how hot it is? Are we in the desert? Now, David puts her in the trunk and then dips back to the diner because he realizes he forgot his camera. And when he comes back, this freaky ass dude is still here. I really want him to leave. I really do. I will say, I'm pretty surprised they duped us with Chris not being the main character and it's actually like multiple people throughout the story. Not a great choice because a lot of them are not great actors.
It's a heat wave.
But it was a choice that surprised me. Now we're back at the car chase scene from earlier, and this kind of confirms to us in the story that the buddy is not real. Still don't know who the guy is or why he looks like that, but we know he's not real. Now the guy keeps teleporting around and just whispering to Daniel that he should really take out that cop.
Take him out.
He obviously shoots the cop because like we saw that earlier. And now we're officially back to where we left off. I will say, I've never really liked when movies start at the end. I know it wasn't the first to do this, but it's like what they did in Megamind, where it's like, oh, you probably wonder how I got here, and he's like falling from the sky. It doesn't really hurt the plot per se, but a lot of the times it just takes away from any of the stakes leading up to it, because I mean, you already know it has to get to that point, so there's no tension before it, you know what I mean? He tells the vision spirit guy to fuck off, and he actually does, which made me really happy, so I was back into the movie, and he also seemed pretty happy about this. The movie then has a very obvious fade to black commercial break cut before coming back to the fucking girl that he just killed. We're going back in time again. I hope you like it, because it's gonna happen a lot more. So she's talking business to this random dude. It's heavily implied that they're talking about illegal shit, but it's not really revealed what's happening until the guy goes, yeah, I'm a hitman. Maybe don't say that in the diner. We then get a really long stretch of just super boring dialogue about like this guy being a hitman and what it's like being a hitman. And it's kind of funny how much they care about describing this guy's life as a hitman, because he's gone after this scene. He never shows up again. Well, kind of. They redo this scene a few times, but he doesn't do anything else other than this diner scene. Now, to be fair, this whole time they are waiting for someone to show up with a wad of cash, so it makes sense that they're talking about this, but I didn't need to hear that. You know what I mean? I'm good. You can skip this part. That's why I'm watching a movie. Now, all of a sudden, while they're sitting there, one of those fucking Santa guys comes in with a paper bag full of cash, probably not from a good place. Now, I'm thinking he stole from one of those Salvation Army tins, but who knows? You know, we might go back in time 6 more times to figure that out. That's exactly what happens. Now, the hitman guy looks through the bag of cash and finds a fucking scratch card, like one of those lottery cards, and forces Santa to scratch it for him. And it's such an awkward scene. It feels like I'm watching Breaking Bad when he talks to Gus, you know what I mean?
A lot of people hate their jobs, but they still do them. I'm no different.
Now, after this, we have another cut over to a character giving their life story and just having a really boring conversation. I'm not gonna lie, it's just really boring. Now, this guy who's getting introduced right now is actually Randy, the Santa Claus that was sitting outside of the diner. He's pretty important, so lock him away. After that pointless conversation, we cut back to Sarah and the hitman, and he decides he's just gonna leave with the money. He's not gonna help her, he's just gonna dip. So she pulls out that pistol again and goes, hey bro, you gotta lower your prices. It feels like every time they go back or like show more about the story, they're trying to make it more complex and weird and convoluted. Like, what am I watching? Trapped in the Closet?
I can't believe it's a man.
Anyways, the hitman leaves with the 10K, and right as he does, David comes in. Also, I just want to say, if I was a hitman and you held me up, I would just take your money and pretend I was going to help you, and then just not help you. Why the fuck would I kill some guy for you after you just threatened to shoot me? David and Sasha don't really say anything before cutting back to Randy, the Santa Claus guy, who is baby raging out on his car before the boss guy comes out and tells him to fuck off. We get some like somber Christmas music before he drives away, and oh my god, this movie takes itself so seriously for how stupid it is. It feels like the outro to a sad romance movie. We get some like slow rolling pan shots of all the main characters, and I just it's so stupid. It's called A Christmas Crime Story. Where's the crime? The crime's only been like 5 minutes of the movie. And then guess what happens after this? Guess what? We get another cutback. Now we're getting a backstory on fucking Randy, the Santa Claus. I don't care. I don't care about this guy. We get a lore dump about Randy and his poor finances and home life. Oh, and how his daughter has stage 4 neuroblastoma. What am I watching? This feels like they grabbed 12 different short films and went, okay, now what if we put them all together so we can sell this? Because why am I looking at this guy? I don't care that Randy's a bum. Like, I don't want to watch this guy. He gets in his car and his daughter calls back, and we get fucking gut punched with this girl asking for money for Christmas so she can help her parents pay for her medical bills.
I want money so we could pay the doctors so they can make me all better.
Again, what the fuck? I thought this was a crime story. Why, like almost a full hour into the movie, am I getting an extremely heartbreaking story about this guy trying to make ends meet so his daughter doesn't die? Okay. Did I also mention that earlier Randy flashes his 6-month sobriety coin? Chill! Give this guy a break, damn! Speaking of sobriety, he stops his car at a liquor store and tells his wife, I've got a way to make us some money. I'll be home soon. And that's when it hit me. The guy that robbed the store at the beginning of the movie is fucking Randy. Holy shit. They did it. It actually all ties together. It makes so much more. Oh. It's actually a different guy. I don't even have words anymore, man. Turns out it was the other Santa Claus, you know, the one with the paper bag for the hitman. It was that guy. They never really did a good job of differentiating the two, so I kind of forgot there were two Santas in the movie for a while, but again, this is the one that dropped off the money bag for Sasha. Randy walks into the store after he hears fucking gunshots and goes, hey man, what's going on? So the Santa drops the gun and sprints out, and then this brain-dead imbecile grabs the gun and tries to walk into the building. Huh? So of course the cops get there and they're like, oh, it's this guy, isn't it? And the weirdest part about the whole thing is he just kind of accepts it. He's like, okay, you caught me. Dude, you didn't do it. What do you mean they caught you? Your daughter has a stage 4 neuroblastoma and you're taking a hit for this random fucking guy? Why not ask about the cameras or literally anything? Because all he says is, yeah, it was another Santa that robbed it. And they're like, yeah, right, buddy. And he's like, okay, I guess.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used.
Just stop.
Excuse me?
Don't bother, man.
It pisses me off so bad. This movie tries to be so like in-depth and detailed with all these moving pieces all colliding at once, and it's just done so poorly that every time they switch to a new character, I'm pulled further and further out of the story, you know? Speaking of random cuts, by the way, we're cutting back again. We're going back to the Santa that actually robbed the place, so I guess we can see how he robbed the place. Fucking stop! The overall story isn't even that bad. Like, it's kind of a fun way to interweave a bunch of people's stories, but the way that they go about it is quite possibly the worst way they could have structured this movie. He heads in and talks to the clerk, you know, the one that we heard got shot in the first 2 minutes, so hey, we know how this one ends. Hey guys, what if we write a group of stories, but we tell you the ending before you read all of them, so there's zero stake or reason to watch the story at all? Guys, I think we might have hit the jackpot. This one's genius. Sorry, I'm getting really hateful on this one. I don't know why that made me so annoyed. Anyways, the clerk gets really weirdly flirty towards him. She like offers him drinks and offhandedly mentions that the cameras don't work.
Don't even worry about it. It hasn't worked in years.
How convenient. I wonder if that's gonna be relevant. It actually isn't even relevant. They don't bring that up. I don't know. I think it was just to make me mad specifically. I feel like this entire movie is just here to make me mad. They have a lot more pointless dialogue before he sticks up the place, and she just keeps trying to goad him out of it. She's like, oh, it's that girl, isn't it? She's not even good for you. She's not good enough for you. She's obviously trying to blackmail you. You should talk to the cops. Lady, it's not gonna work, man. As she's filling up the bag for money, she pulls a gun on him, points it at him, and then just doesn't even shoot or anything, so she gets laid out. And this is some of the worst editing on a like firefight scene that I have ever seen. Like, did they even put a muzzle flash on it? It looks so bad. We then get the 7,000th hard cut, this time over to the mom opening the red envelope that Chris left like an hour ago. Remember that part? Too bad, because we immediately cut back again to Jason handing Sasha the money. You know, the scene we've already seen like 3 times at this point. Oh, but there's more context. No, there's not. No, there's not. We knew from the beginning that he was in a shitty situation because of how he was acting. He walks in and he's like, here's the money. He looks like he's about to piss himself. Of course he's not happy here. Oh, but the lottery tickets. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, no. Now, I will admit, maybe I was a little too harsh, because something does actually change. It turns out he won the lottery ticket after all, but he just kind of lied so he could keep the money, right?
Nothing.
We then come back to David burying Sasha with some of the weirdest shots I've ever seen.
Motherfucker. Come on.
Like, what the hell is that music, man? Why does he look like Hunter Biden? Oh, you wanted to know what happens and why he looks like Hunter Biden? Too bad. We cut over to Abby and her mom, remember Randall's daughter, as they bump into Jason, you know, the evil Santa Claus that shot the clerk. Now, Abby starts talking to him and eventually tells him her wish, and he gets all depressed because, I mean, of course he does. It's a dying kid asking for her medical bills to be paid off from Santa Claus. That's fucking awful. Hot take? It's kind of evil that hospitals charge money to keep your child alive. I know. Guys, you don't have to clap. I know, it's a progressive take. Stop. Anyways, he somehow knows her name, and the mom, like, gives him a weird look, so she sends her in the restaurant, right? And I'm thinking she's gonna be like, how the fuck do you know my daughter? But they actually don't address that at all, and they just start going into detail more about how expensive medical bills are, and how he feels bad, and it really starts to feel like a St. Jude's ad or something. Like, they get really specific on medical bills, which I agree with what they're saying, but it's just really oddly placed here. And, you know, his final act of good is he decides to give that woman his winning lottery ticket, and she graciously accepts accepts it. She's like, oh my god, thank you. And I think this part's just kind of funny because it's supposed to be a symbolic statement of like spreading Christmas cheer and like helping other people like that. This dude shot a woman like 15 minutes ago. I don't think I want to take advice from this guy. Maybe choose a different character in the story. Oh, also the carolers found Chris shot dead in the street. And then we just cut away. We're just done. This movie kind of feels like I'm scrolling TikTok, and every once in a while I'll get back to the story I was watching because they just love immediately cutting away anytime you start to pay attention to what's happening. I think he's just getting booked for the night, but we get a hard cut to what I assume to be Jason hanging himself because he killed that girl and his girl died. Oh, did I mention he watched her die and didn't do anything at all? He was literally standing there like this. And he didn't do anything. He was like 5 feet away. Anyways, the cops tell Caitlin about Randall, and wait, Randall killed himself in the jail cell? What? Wait, but there's a leather sofa behind him. Oh, what the fuck? This actually makes zero sense. Like, why would he do that? Also, he gets blamed later on in a news story for the death of Chris. So literally every bad thing that happened in this movie gets blamed on the guy who's struggling to find a job, stop being an alcoholic, and has a dying daughter. So the moral of the story is be evil, rob a store, and then a random dude will take the fall for everything? Like, what were they trying to say with this story? Now, we do get a final little resolution. Basically, Jason goes to David's house, shoots him, and then we get this really uncomfortable shot before he shoots himself in the yard. The end. Isn't that awesome? Now, this movie made absolutely no sense, but the weirdest part of the entire movie to me is the last like 5 to 10 minutes is literally just them replaying scenes that we've already seen. It's not like from new angles or anything. It's literally just grabbing shots that we already saw and just putting them here for the last 5 to 10 minutes. I think they were just padding their runtime. I really don't know why they did this. But with that, we finally finished this movie, and honestly, I can't even tell you what we just watched. I mean, there was crime. There wasn't really Christmas. It was LA and a heat wave.
It's a heat wave.
That's about as far away from Christmas as you can get. And I don't know if I can say there was much of a story either, because what the fuck even happened? I still seriously think the biggest flaw of this movie is just the pacing. Like, why do we keep bouncing back and forth and going back in time all the time when it genuinely would have just felt better if they ran the whole movie chronologically? Like, also, where'd the Hitman go? I just remembered that he was there for like 5 minutes and he was supposed to be like this pivotal piece of stuff happening. Where the fuck did he go? Like, he just showed up, took that girl's money, and then dipped. I get he was supposed to kill David, but at a certain point, if he's not even important to the story in any way, why is he even here? I don't normally like being this hateful in these videos. I like to try to find something good about the movies that I'm talking about, even if they really, really suck. But oh my god, this one was just so unbearably long and pointless. Like, I actually cannot think of a single good thing about this movie, except for when she says chud. That was awesome.
A couple of chuds.
Anyways, thank you to the patrons. You guys are awesome. Everything over on the Patreon is 100% free. Subscribing to it just supports me and what I do. So if you like this video, you could go check that out, maybe. Thanks. With all that being said, my name is Prisk. That's Reggie. Don't look at him. And I'll see you. All right, I think that's good. Wait a minute.